Welcome back to the Mowing in the Dark podcast. I am your host, Aaron Sutter. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're listening on the podcast, welcome. This is the Mowing in the Dark podcast. I already said that. All right, guys. So today I want to talk to you and tell you why I choose to be solo in the lawn care business. It's a thing for me. I choose to do it. Now, granted, my son is 12 years old now, so this summer he worked with me 2 days a week while he was not in school. But I want to give him time, 3, 4, 5 days a week to be a kid, and then he can come and learn how to work with me 2 days a week. So that's what we did this year. Of course, I'm paying him. He's making money. He's happy about that. So that is all good. So I'm solo, but I'm in the summertime, like the heat of the summer, kind of the slow summer months, I'm semi-solo. So that is what it is. But guys, first I want you guys to, if you're not on YouTube, sorry guys, it's so late. I mean, for me, it's late. It has been a very stressful last couple of weeks. I am exhausted. I want to be in my bed right now. And it's 9:15. So it's not late by late standards, but it's late for me. So bear with me, please. All right. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on the podcast rather, head over to YouTube after this episode is done. Subscribe to the channel. The YouTube channel supports this podcast. So I need you guys to go over there, subscribe to the YouTube channel, watch a couple of videos if you would. That would be awesome. That would help out this podcast because I don't have any sponsors. I don't know if I'll ever get sponsors. I go back and forth with sponsors. Do I want to? And same thing with YouTube videos. Like, do I really want someone to send me a product to review? Because that's not necessarily an unbiased review. Because any way you spin it, that company sent me a product and I feel obligated not to rip that product apart. I want to be gentle if I'm going to criticize the product. So I'm into hiking, so I follow a couple of hiking gear review channels, and there's only one that does unbiased, agenda-free gear reviews. So what he does is he has a Patreon page set up, and there's people that, they're members of that, so they give money, whatever, and of course they get extra content, I'm sure. But that money, this creator then takes that money, he doesn't pay himself with it, he goes and buys new gear to review on his channel. And that keeps him from having to feel like he's got an agenda. So it's all agenda free, and that's kind of what I want this channel to be. I am very aware of the reviews that happen on YouTube and the biased content that is, because these creators typically are given a demo unit. If it's a mower, they're given a demo unit for a few days to mow with, and then they give a review. Or these creators, the bigger ones, they are paid a check and they're given the piece of equipment to demo and do a review on. That's not unbiased. They've got a big agenda because they were just handed a check. So I don't want to be that creator. I want to have a free agenda to be able to say what I need to say about a piece of equipment to help you guys out. That's what this podcast and the YouTube channel is all about. It's all about helping you guys as lawn care business owners become more efficient and effective so that you have more time for family, free time, and fun. And if I'm out there promoting products because it was sent to me or I was paid a check to say something about this product, that doesn't help you guys at all. That is not the goal of this podcast or this channel. I want to be as unbiased as possible. Now I get it. To review mowers, that's a big ask, because I'm either going to have to go get a demo unit somehow or rent a machine like I did a couple weeks back, something like that. But it's my own money that I want to put down on that. And I don't want to feel like I have to say something about this product that someone sent me because they sent it to me or because they're paying me money. So I get it. These creators, they want, this is part of their business. I get it. It's a whole different business. I get it. They have to make money doing it. I kind of view this as a very small business for me, but because I make very little money from YouTube. But this is to help you guys out. Truly, honestly, to help you guys. It's not for me. I'm not here to get rich. I'm not here to make a lot of money. I am here for you, to help you grow, to help you be more efficient and effective. Not these big companies that have billions of dollars in some cases. They could care less. They just want to make sales. They don't care. They don't care if the machine doesn't work properly. They don't care if it doesn't stand the test of time. They could care less. They want to make sales. That's not me. That's not this YouTube channel. That's not this podcast. So if you guys want to continue hearing this podcast, continue to seeing the unbiased reviews on YouTube, you're going to have to subscribe. You're going to have to hit that like button. You're going to have to comment on the videos. It's a two-way street here. I'm doing all I can with content. You guys have to do your part and subscribe to the channel. All right? That's all I'm asking. It's free. All this content is completely free to you. All I'm asking is for you to hit the subscribe button. That's it. All right? So let's jump into this podcast. Why am I solo? I'm solo by choice, guys. I have been from the beginning. Of course, like I said, little caveat, my son is starting to work, and eventually he probably will work with me full time in the summer, and then I will no longer be solo. But I am not taking, when he comes and works with me, I'm not taking on more work because I can't. Because he doesn't join me in the summer until the end of May. And he leaves me at the end of August. So that window, I cannot take on more work there just because he's with me. So my goal with him is to teach him how to work. All right, so I'm solo because I love the freedom of it. Now, some guys out there are going to say, freedom? You don't have any freedom. You're solo. You're doing the back end. You're doing the front end. You're doing all the work. You don't have any freedom. But I do have freedom. It might not be as much freedom as a business owner who is out of the business, maybe working on the back end, no longer in the field. But I have less stress in most cases, barring the last 2 weeks. I have less stress. It suits my personality better to be solo. And I get it. There's some companies, some guys out there that are on YouTube that they're moving away from solo. They're getting, a crew or whatever. That's great. I applaud them for that. I want them to grow. I want to grow. But I'm just going to grow in a different way until my son is full-time. If he wants to continue working full-time for me, that's great. If he doesn't, great. Now, I am considering hiring a part-time employee next year because I've got someone that is getting out of the business in one of the neighborhoods that I work in, and he is sending me all 24 of his clients that he's got. Now, I'm not landing all 24 because I am pricing really high, guys. Just for what these lawns are, I'm pricing really high. And the reason is, I have to. We have to charge what we need to charge, guys. This year has been brutal. It really has. I mean, I should have raised my prices this spring 30% because of inflation, the gas prices that we were hitting earlier in the year. My prices should have gone up 30%. But instead, I only raised them 10% because that's what they were saying the inflation rate was. So it is what it is. I didn't do it. I don't want to raise them mid-season unless I absolutely have to. So I'm still bringing in money. We're still paying bills, still getting it done, but I'm not going to have as much profit as I want to have at the end of the year when it's all said and done. That's okay. It is what it is. I'm not upset about it. I just need to do better planning next year. So being solo, I do have the freedom to contact my clients and say, guys, I can't work today. Everybody's pushed out a day. I have that freedom. I'm nimble because I don't have employees. So I can be nimble, and I'm not trying to steer an aircraft carrier. It's just me. I'm steering a jet ski. I can turn on a dime, so it's fast, it's quick, it's easy. It's easy communication. It's really good. I like it that way. But I can see as I'm growing, because I get contacted all the time to take on new lawns. And I turn down 99% of everyone that contacts me. I'm just going to be honest. I do, because I can't take on more work right now. Now, next spring, I do plan to winnow down my list that I have. Depending on how many of these new clients come on, I might only need to get rid of a couple, or I might have to get rid of a whole day. But these clients that I'm picking up are going to help my route density too. And with that, they're going to help my top line and my bottom line. So it's a trade-off. But I am solo because I want to be. That's really the easiest answer. I'm solo because I want to be. It's less stress. Guys, I would encourage you to head over to the Lone Star Lawn Talk podcast, I think is what it's called. And Andrew Martinez is the host there. I was on his podcast on Friday. All right? That's when my episode aired. And we talked about my back history of working in the medical field and the stress that I went through. And it was awful, guys. It was awful. So I would encourage you to go listen to that podcast if you haven't. I thought it was really good. I thought it turned out great. I don't know how everyone else thinks about it, but I thought it turned out great. And I hope it's going to be helpful to the community, because let's be honest, guys, we can work ourselves into an early grave. And that's what I'm trying to avoid by being solo. Yes, I'm physically working a little bit harder, but I can pick and choose who I want to take on. And I can pick and choose. I can be nimble and lean and raise my prices without a lot of hullabaloo. And I don't have a ton of overhead. I have very little overhead because I don't have employees. I don't have that cost. And then I don't have the stress of employees calling out. I don't have the stress of employees want to take vacation or quitting. Maybe I bring on one employee, one full-time employee, and then I start bringing on a bunch of work. That employee quits, and now I can't find a new employee for another 6 weeks. What do I do? That is the crux of the issue here. With the lawn care business specifically, how are you going to make it through that? That is going to be a really stressful, hard time. And I'm not willing to go through that. I'm not willing to put my family through that. And so I choose to stay solo so that I can be nimble and lean and mean, make the most profit that I possibly can, make a good income. Maybe it's not $1 million income. Maybe I'm not making $100,000 a year, but it's a livable income. And it provides us stability, and it provides peace. Peace for me, peace for my family because I'm not stressed out. It provides peace. See, when you're running, Johnny Mow made a couple of really awesome videos, 5 years ago, I think, about being solo and proud. Johnny Mow had two crews that he was sending out. But as he goes into it, he says he just felt like a rat in a wheel, just trying to keep his head above water. And he just got tired of it. He couldn't take it anymore. And he went back to solo. And he's downsized and he's downsized and he's downsized. But he's happy. He's not stressed out. He's not worried about the money. That's where I want to be. And I'm not quite there yet because I just had a couple of really stressful weeks. Now the stress has been way reduced since I bought my new Bradley mower. I haven't talked about that on the podcast yet, but I bought a brand new Bradley mower. And that did increase my overhead a little bit. I bought the mower for $6,200. Brand new. This thing is awesome. I'm telling you. It has given me a peace. Like when I was going to go and buy a new Toro grandstand, I had absolutely no peace. I felt like I was going to puke just thinking about throwing down $13,000 for a mower. I don't want to spend that much money on a mower, on something that is going to depreciate in value. Yes, it's going to make me money. It's gonna help me make, like this year in my lawn care business, just lawn care alone, I've probably made $45,000. Just with lawn care. That's not including snow, because we're focused on the mowers right now. So, I mean, yes, it will return me money. But what if I can find an equivalent machine for half the price, less than half the price, and I don't have that stress? Even if this mower in 2 years craps out and it just falls apart, the wheels fall off, everything's breaking on it, that's still way better than still owing $6,000 on a Toro grandstand. Because a Toro grandstand I would have to finance for 0% for 48 months. And I financed this one for 0% for 48 months. My payment on this one is $134. My payment on a new Toro grandstand would probably be over $300 a month. That is the difference for me. I can be more profitable by having this Bradley mower than I can by buying a new Toro. I'm after the profit, guys. I'm looking to be profitable. I don't care. I don't care anymore about the name on the equipment. I could care less. They all cut grass. They all make tall grass short. The thing is I wanted to find good cut quality, and I found it with Bradley. It's an inexpensive machine, but not a cheaply made machine, and it has good cut quality. And I love that. I love it. So even if I only get 2 years out of it, I'm happy with that, because I have such a peace. When I drove the three and a half, almost 4 hours to Illinois to pick up the Bradley mower, I had such a peace, just amazing peace with this decision to buy this Bradley mower. I had absolutely no peace thinking about driving 20 minutes to pick up a new Toro grandstand. None. I seriously felt like I was going to puke. And that's the difference with being solo and having crews. Maybe if you have crews, maybe you can sleep at night. Maybe you're not stressed out. I guarantee you're more stressed out than I am. Because not only are you running this business, you have to make this business be profitable. And you have these guys, these employees, guys or gals, you have employees who are counting on you for their paycheck. That is a heap of stress. That will stress you out. And then on top of that, you've got overtime. If it rains a lot, you're paying overtime now. You're paying out overtime. Thousands of dollars in overtime. You didn't budget overtime for these lawns. So now what? Now what do we have? Now we're in the hole. We're losing money. It's peace, guys. That is the number one reason that I am solo, is for peace. I came from the medical field. I came from working the ER in the hospital. No peace. It was like a rat in a wheel. People would come in. There would be a code blue. The code blue is someone's heart stopped. All right? As medical staff, we are charged with getting that heart going again. So they would bring that person in. I'd have to drop everything. Meanwhile, more patients are being checked into the emergency room from the waiting room. They're piling up. 13, 14, 15 blood draws that I have to do. And that in the ER, there's very little waiting. Everything needs to be done right now. And so the priority, of course, is the code blue. So the code blue comes in and they have coded. I have to run in there and try to get blood from this person. So I get the blood. I run out of the room. Let me explain this to you, if I can. It is very traumatic for someone, for a human being, to run into a situation where someone is at death's door. I run in, I do my job, I get blood, I run out of the room, and there is no resolution, no conclusion to that story for me as a phlebotomist. There's no closure there. Did that person survive? Did they die? What happened? I don't know. And I'm not allowed to know. There's no closure. That plays with your psyche over time. And so I had to get out of that. It affected me so poorly. It put me in the worst place of my life. And so for me, I need peace. I need as little stress as I can handle. Because for me, when I get stressed out, when my body gets stressed out, it is life or death. That's what my body says. It's not, but that's what my body says. The chemicals in my body say, this is life or death. This is fight or flight, and we're here to fight. We're not running from the situation. We're running into it. I had to change something. And so the stress level has to come down in my life. So for me, some of you, I get it. There are people that look at my channel on YouTube and they think I say really stupid things. Sometimes I do. But they don't understand my story. They don't understand where I came from. They don't understand the stress that I was under. The emotional toll it takes on a person, on a human being, to not have closure in a life or death situation. Because that's why we have funerals. Humans need to have closure. They need to see that body. Okay, they're dead. I'm sad, but they're dead. We can move on. I did not have that in the hospital. I saw probably dozens of codes in the hospital, and there was never any closure other than twice where the patient died when I was in the room. That was it, twice. It takes such a toll that I had to get out of that, and now I have to have a peaceful, stable environment to work in. That's why lawn care is so nice for me. That's why I choose to be solo. I don't want that stress. I don't want the stress of trying to provide for someone else's family. That to me is stress. And honestly, truthfully, I can't handle it. Everyone is different. Our life experiences are different. For me, I can't handle that. If there was an explosion up the street, I can handle that. I would run to it because I'm trained to do that. Some of you listening are probably first responders. You're trained to do it. I get it. And maybe you guys get me. But there's so many people out there that when I say some of this stuff on YouTube, and I'm solo on YouTube, and people kind of make fun of that, like, you're not growing a real business, you're not a real business owner because you just work by yourself, you just own a job. I'd rather own a job than be dead, guys. Truthfully, I'd rather own a job than be dead. And that's where I was. That's where I was 4 or 5 years ago. Just being honest. That's where I was. And so when people make fun of this channel, they make fun of this podcast because, oh, it's just small. He just says stupid things. Yeah, well, I've been through some stuff. Maybe you don't know. So for me, that is the number one reason that I'm solo, is for peace in my life. Now, there's other reasons too. I like the freedom of being able to say, if it's 5 o'clock, I have a teacher's meeting or something at my kid's school, I can say, I can't get this lawn done today. Now, I don't generally go to the teacher's meetings at school unless I'm done working, because they're just not that important to me, guys, really. I mean, my wife is there. She works from home, so she can be there. And typically, there's not much information shared that we don't already know. So I keep working through those things. But for weekends off, for vacations, things like that, I can plan it and I can take it when I want to. I'm in control. And that's the beautiful thing about being a solo owner-operator, is that I'm in control. I'm no longer in the back seat or in the captain's seat of a behemoth. Even with 2 employees, you have to steer this thing. Maybe it's a yacht now. Maybe you've got a yacht instead of a jet ski. It takes a little bit more effort to turn it. And you're going to have more stress because more things are going to break, because it's not you running the equipment. It's these guys running the equipment that could care less about the equipment. And so more things are breaking. That's more stress. You still got to get the back end of the business done. Plus you're doing all the sales. Plus you're doing all the estimates. Plus you're trying to get the money right. You're trying to pay these guys so that their families don't go hungry. It's just too much stress for me. So that's all I got to say, guys. I'm going to end it here because I feel like I'm repeating myself now. I am tired. So it happens. So guys, thanks for listening. I hope you got some value out of this. I really do. If you want more value, honestly, guys, go over to YouTube. Check out the videos that Johnny Mow did on Solo and Proud. He did 2 or 3 of them. They are excellent videos. And I think every single lawn care business owner should watch those videos. I am a huge fan of Johnny Mow. I think he has a lot of knowledge. He's been in the business for over 22, 23 years now. I have a lot of respect for him. Go check out his channel on YouTube. That would make my day if you would do that. So, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you in the next episode.